Welcome to this Equestrian Vaulting USA video series designed to inspire and educate our vaulting community on the one-star compulsories. This video is about the flag. First, we will outline the essence and mechanics of the flag, followed by a more in-depth explanation of how to train and coach this compulsory. We will finish with guidance and tips from our judges. This video is made possible by the donations from the generous members of Equestrian Vaulting USA. Thank you. The essence and mechanics. The essence of all compulsories is harmony with the horse. The additional essences that are specific to the flag are balance, body control, and posture. The flag is a static exercise and comprises three biomechanical phases: the build-up phase, the static phase, and the build-down phase. First, the build-up phase. From the seat astride, the vaulter comes to bench position with both legs simultaneously, landing with the legs diagonally across the horse's back. The left knee is slightly left of the horse's spine, and the left foot is slightly to the right of the horse's spine. The head faces forward. Second, the static phase. The static phase and the count of the canter strides starts when the static position is displayed. The right hand holds on top of the handle. The shoulder blades are flat. The right shoulder blade is stabilized by muscle force with the maximal possible distance between the spine of the vaulter and the shoulder blade. The right shoulder joint is at approximately the same height as the hip joint. To absorb the movement of the horse, the vaulter's shoulders move forward, backward, and up and down relative to the surcingle throughout the exercise. The vaulter's shoulders are above the surcingle when there is the greatest distance between the vaulter's upper body and the horse's back. The vaulter faces forward and the head is centered with the chin higher than the shoulders. The shoulders, thorax, and pelvis are parallel to the back of the horse. The spine links the lines of the straight arm and leg in a smooth, regular, and stabilized arc. The middle longitudinal line through the body follows the horse's bending on the circle, and the vaulter's spine is in line with the median plane of the horse. The right leg is not rotated in the hip joint. The fingertips and toes are level with the highest point of the head, and the shoulder blades and right knee joint are approximately the same height. The weight is evenly spread over the left lower leg, which is mostly flat on the pad. If a minor part of the lower leg and/or the foot is behind the pad, that part should be stretched, but doesn't need to be in contact with the horse's back. During the whole static phase, the upper line maintains the same distance to the ground, and the movement is to be absorbed by the joints of the supporting arm, meaning the shoulders, elbows, and wrists, not the shoulder blades and thorax, and by the legs, meaning the hips and knee, not the pelvis or spine. The angle of the left thigh varies depending on the canter phase of the horse. In the canter phase, when there is the greatest distance between the vaulter's upper body and the horse's back, the left hip joint is slightly behind the left knee. The vaulter is in a stable, controlled, and balanced position throughout the exercise. For compulsory tests 1, the exercise ends in the bench position.
Hi, I'm Kaylin, and this is Phoenix, and we're going to show you a flag exercise. Go ahead and have your vaulter go up to a box position. And what you're going to do is put their hand inside the loop of a bungee elastic TheraBand. And that is going to go up and over their shoulder. And then I find it easier to hook it up from the outside, right over the top of the arch. Now what you're going to do is assume a perfect box position. And if they're little like she is, you can kind of hold the band so it stays up and over their shoulder. So elbows in, long neck, pinch those shoulder blades, arch your back a little bit. Make sure that the knees are directly underneath the hips, the ankles are flat, the neck is long, and then you're going to have your vaulter go out into their flag. So what you can see is that her flag is a little low in the front, a little high in the back. So this band is going to help her find that nice, flat, straight line across the top of her flag. Now, once they have it, it's time to torture them a little bit. Tell them to tighten their knee, drop that hip, show me your face, tighten those fingers, point those toes, make sure that your your fingertips and your toes are as high as the top of your head, but the shoulders stay low. You can test their box a little bit. Keep them down, squeeze, don't let your arm drop, and back to your box. And you can repeat that as many times as necessary to help them find that top line of their flag. It also provides a little bit of stretch for some of the vaulters that aren't as flexible in their shoulders or their hips, and it will give you a nice visual of that top line.
Hi, my name is Kylan Gafori. I'm a U.S. junior athlete, and today I'll be teaching you compulsories. Slightly extend your legs forward, almost as if you're going to do a swing. Bend and push off your arms into almost a plank position, and then bring your knees in and bend your arms. So that's just a very, very slow version of it. When you do it a little bit faster, it will be one fluid motion. And when you're in your box, you should try to have a perfect box, which is why we call it box position. And most of your pressure should be on the front part of your legs, almost so much pressure that you could even lift up your knees and slide a few pieces of paper underneath. Your arms should be tucked, bent, and tucked so you keep that flat box image. And make sure your arms are totally tucked in so it's a nice view. Another big thing is keeping, again, your left leg planted on the horse. Because when you're moving on a horse, there's forward movement that's going to want to push you all the way up, so then you have this, which will make holding the flag significantly harder as you just want to fall forward. So when you're doing your flag, make sure you really press that top of your foot into the horse, and make sure you're not pointing your toe and hurting the horse in any kind of way. And then we hold that for 4 seconds. And then come down back into our box, releasing our arm and leg at the same time. For our flag drill, I have 2 items that you can do with or without. I have a handstand handle, which this is only one of the set. And then I also have ankle weights, which I'll be attaching to my right wrist and left leg, and then vice versa, so we can build strength on both of our sides. Alright, so now that I have my ankle weight on my wrist and it's also on my leg, you can also do these without your ankle weights, but I feel it provides just a little bit more strength training to get more muscle in your back to hold the flag correctly. So I'm going to go into a box position, so I have my right hand on the handle, and you can even have a left handle to practice that box position, but I feel I don't need it, as I already know the feeling. And then you do one leg out, and up. And come in, up, and then go into a perfect flag, and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, and then rest, and do however many reps you feel like are necessary. And then also switch to the other leg and arm, so then you can practice your right flag. So when you get to the level that you have to go to the right, you already have that muscle to hold the flag.
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca Harris. I'm a senior 2-star vaulter, certified personal trainer, and well on my way to also being a certified strength and conditioning specialist. 2 exercises that are going to help our flag are going to be a plank march, which we can also modify to a box march or a bear march, and we're going to also do a single leg glute bridge. This is going to support our ability to use our core while we lift our arm, as well as our glute and hamstring strength, so that we don't have to arch our low back too much to get into that nice flag position.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Orozco. I'm an AVA judge as well as a Mexican judge and an international judge. I'm going to give you a few tips or comments on what we normally see as judges when we see each compulsory in a competition. For flag, this one's hard because it has so many things that go into it, but I would say assuming your box is already good, so assuming your down leg is in contact with the horse through the whole down leg, and that your elbows are bent, so your back is straight. I think harmony is something that gets overlooked in flag. If we see arm and leg bouncing up and down through the whole thing, that means you're not in harmony with your horse. So you need to work on absorbing the horse's movement in order for your arm and leg to be stable through the whole exercise. So working on harmony, I think, will be good in flag.